Hey, we're back. Quizmaster Jack here with uh, with the real deal, the real buzzword. So the past few we've done here have been the some rehashes, some reprises, some pretty good theme rounds, I thought. But now, gotta stretch out for this one because this is the real stuff. This is the 8 week pop culture marathon. Uh, 8 weeks, 400 questions. We'll see who ends up on top. Yep, so this is the week one of Buzzword's Summer 2021 Popular Culture Week, or Popular Pop Culture Competition. So the way this is going to work out is I'm going to play one a week for all 8. My top 5 scores will be compared against everybody else, and we'll see who's on top. I should have checked before I started this where I ended up in the last 8 week competition in pop culture. I think I was top 25. I was top 25 at least. And I think I won one. So that's really my goal, is outside of having the best celerity for my correct answers. I want to. I want the top spot. I want to win. I don't know if I actually could with the level of competition there is here, but I want to go. I want to be on top. I want to go. And that all starts with question one of week one. Here we go.
This is the primary language of the playback singer, who is the most recorded artist in music history according to Guinness. The romance film known as DDLJ is in this language, which is spoken by Amitabh Bachchan. For 10 points, name this primary language of the Bollywood film industry.
Ah. Well, sometimes you stumble right out the gate. They may. We'll see. We'll see. That could be. They could give me that one with a typo, but they could also say, "No, you messed that up real bad." Anyways, it's a great start. It's a great start either way. Uh, let's keep it going.
This woman and her husband founded Higher Ground Productions, which made the documentary American Factory. On Netflix's Waffles and Mochi, she plays grocery store owner Mrs. O. For 10 points, what woman's book Becoming describes her childhood in Chicago and her experience as First Lady?
Oh. I was not expecting a Michelle Obama question. I was on Oprah for a while, but I don't think Oprah ever married Stedman. Uh, yeah, still not a great start. But those first two were not wheelhouse questions for me.
This band's fourth album, which continued a tradition of opening with a song that shares this band's name, includes vocals by Greta Thunberg and the single Frail State of Mind. Love It If We Made It and The Sound are by, for 10 points, what Matty Healy-led indie pop band named for a year.
I don't even know if I know a band named for a year. I've literally never heard of the 1975. Ugh, we're just getting batted around. I was so confident. Remember 2 minutes ago when I was pretty confident about this stuff?
A character with this surname, whose first name is Nate, is known as X-Man and is an alternate version of Cable. A woman with this surname, who is known as Marvel Girl, is married to Cyclops.
Shit. God. Oh, yeah. It was Jean Grey. I thought since they were talking about the kid that he probably took his dad's name if he was an alternate Cable. No, but alternate Cable would, yeah. Oh, this is not going great for me so far.
In 2021, this woman competed against Chandra Wilson and Tony Hawk on the premiere of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. NBC made her an Olympics reporter after she live-tweeted the Rio Games. She was the oldest person to ever join the SNL cast.
Yeah, this is Leslie Jones. All right, there we go. There we go. Probably could have gotten her in earlier on that one too, but so it goes.
A song by this group includes the lyrics, "I know you're always on that night shift, but I can't stand these nights alone," sung by Normani. This band was left with 4 members after the 2016 departure of Camila Cabello. Work From Home is by, for 10 points, what girl group known as 5H?
This is not. I'm not showing off here right now, but this is like literally asking about stuff that I have no idea about. So lucky to get these giveaways.
In 2021, this fast food chain's locations in Italy brought back its breadless Double Down sandwich.
There we go. That's better. I know about the Double Down. Ah, yes, the Double Down. It's a chicken cordon bleu sandwich with no bread. It's not actually that crazy of like a combination. It's just so hedonistic. Use complete words. Abbreviations are not acceptable. Let me complete.
This series' first film includes a villainess named Max, whose daughter appears as the White Widow in its 6th movie. The first film in this series introduced Luther Stickle, who helped expose Jim Phelps as a traitor. For 10 points.
No. I said Jim Phelps. I kind of fell off. Like, Mission Impossible 1 is just kind of bonkers. Because it's a little too convoluted. It was too, like, people were confused about it. And the second one, with, what's her name? Tendiwe Newton, was like hitting people over the head with what the plot was. I never actually saw MI3 with PSH. But the Brad Bird ones are pretty good. I don't think I saw one after, so it was... The first Brad Bird one was Ghost Protocol? Because I never saw Fallout. I never saw the one with Henry Cavill and his reloading arms. All right, so hopefully we're through the roughest part of it for me, and we can get some questions right.
An elderly character with this name lives in a cavern containing the Rock of Eternity. The first letter in this word originally stood for the wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, that's Shazam. Shazam's a weird character, since he is like a 13-year-old boy who looks like Superman. That was actually a pretty good movie. I like Zach Levi in that movie a lot.
One of these structures that orbited the moon basis was destroyed by the explosion of the Pillar of Autumn.
Well, this is just a halo? Alright, video game questions. Got it on the second proper noun they said in there. I know about the Pillar of Autumn. Everybody's driven up the Pillar of Autumn at the end of Halo. Halo does have pretty great ship names.
A doctor with this surname infiltrates England's no-name league on an epics show. On another show's series finale, a man with this surname captures Nigma and Cobblepot before saving Jim Gordon. For 10 points, Thomas on the...
Okay, so it's Wayne. I was on Watson for a while, with like No Name League, because that sounds like some Sherlock sort of thing. But it turns out it was a Batman question.
In a 2019 Disney Plus film, this man's children are played by Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick. He is targeted by an assassin and played by Mel Gibson in the
It's just Santa. As Mel Gibson was in that. Like he plays Santa and somebody's trying to kill him for some reason. I think I only saw the trailer for that, so I don't know the actual plot. What Disney Plus movie were they talking about with Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick? I like both of them. Maybe we'll check that out.
In 2021, this band adopted the pseudonym The DGs to record the vinyl disco cover album Hail Satin. Their 2021 album Medicine at Midnight includes Shame, Shame. Such earlier hits as My Hero, Times Like...
This is how I get these popular music questions. It's literally just like, this is a band that I know, and they just say everything they did after like 2005. I'm just like, I have no idea. No idea what you're even talking about, man. No idea. Oh, My Hero? I got you. I got it. Maybe I've heard Shame, Shame. I've probably heard Shame, Shame, but anyway. Dave Grohl, one of the best entertainers of our generation. I stand by that.
In 2020, this TV show generated a food-themed spin-off hosted by Tiffany Thiessen. The 2020 Variety article R.I.P. Cable TV noted that this show had aired for 113 hours in a single week. Former skateboarder Rob Dyrdek hosts, for 10 points, what MTV series that makes fun of viral videos?
Yeah, I forgot what this is called. It's a bad show. I'm just throwing... Yeah, sure, Ridiculousness. Sure, that's a bad show. I don't care that I didn't get that question right.
This island was the main setting of a 1996 film that inspired bogus MI6 reports of Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons. In that
Island.
Michael Bay film starring Nicolas Cage and Sean...
I was wondering what island they were talking about. Oh, did somebody use, like... I mean, they're talking about The Rock, the movie. Somebody use like the name, what is it VX nerve gas in the movie? And they use that to like fake Saddam Hussein having a weapon.
This singer's last solo release was written for the end credits of the film The Promise. Chester Bennington took his own life on what would have been this singer's birthday, 2 months after this singer's 2017 suicide. For 10 points, name this lead singer of Audioslave and Soundgarden.
Oh yeah, what's his name? I totally wrote a question about him. I don't think it's this. Chris Cornell, yeah. Yep. Forgot about Chris. Sorry, Chris.
One of these creatures, called the Lord of Lightning, is a boss in Super Mario Odyssey. The Kunari Iron Bull appears in the third game, subtitled Inquisition.
This is Dragon. It's the Iron Bull's in Dragon Age Inquisition. Man, it's been a while since I played Odyssey, so I wasn't able to get it off of that.
Policemen in this musical investigate the death of Fred Casely during...
Ooh, alright. Who's Fred Casely? They both Reach for the Gun is one of my favorite songs from a musical. And the Chicago is one of those musicals where there's no female characters who, like, you don't see their inner thigh at some point. Like, that's just the kind of movie Chicago is. I like Chicago a lot. It's one of my favorite, like, movie adaptations of a stage musical. I think they did a real good job with everything in that movie. Like, Richard Gere's a delight. Obviously, Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones doing great. Queen Latifah is up in there. Christine Baranski. And John C. Reilly. It's Mr. Cellophane. can look right through him, walk right by him, and never know his name. Multiple word answer required.
A memorial named for this place that contains a circular mosaic pathway lies off West 72nd Street. A song named for this place says that living is easy with eyes closed, and...
Nice. That's a good question. I like that question. Mainly because they put Beatles lyrics in it. Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. So you take me down. Strawberry Fields Forever. I've been to the Strawberry Fields in Central Park. I don't remember exactly what the layout was for the tiling there. All right, getting back into a rhythm. Still, I don't think we're gonna have that great of a score on this one.
In 1973, this man's joke about a potential toilet paper shortage inadvertently started a real one. His characters included tea time movie host Art Fern and a turban-wearing psychic called
the Great Karnak. That's a good little callback. Everybody's experienced dumb toilet paper shortages. We didn't have Johnny Carson to do this one. Some weird, wild stuff.
A 2008 game named for this character features a mermaid-like boss who
Merwoman. It had to be Merwoman. Up to that point, the only female robot master, or female presenting robot master in Mega Man. Yeah, perk up on the video game question. I ain't shy. I know my video games.
In 2020, this company launched its decor-oriented Dots line, designed by Amy Corbett. Corbett is a judge on a Fox series hosted by Will Arnett, in which people...
I said Will Arnett. For Lego Masters. You know, it's funny, like, I had a hard time getting into Lego Masters. They just like... I don't know. All the shows where they put these like weird requirements on people, like or like create art in weird circumstances. Kind of some of them don't play. I'm not sure Lego did, and I'm not as obsessed with Lego as other people I know. So maybe that was the problem.
This actor won an Oscar for playing easygoing priest Father O'Malley in Going My Way. In the film Holiday Inn, he performs an Irving Berlin song that recalls a time when the treetops glisten and children listen. For 10 points, what...
Yeah, this has been Crosby. I forgot he won the Oscar. I was on like Peter O'Toole for a while. That's good. That's a good question too. These questions are good. Like they're not unfair or anything. It's just like stuff that I don't know about. The 1975. Still don't know.
This actress steps out of character to call for campaign finance reform at the end of the film The Laundromat. She played Katharine Graham, who chooses to publish the Pentagon Papers in the film The Post. For 10 points...
Streep. Right? She must have been. I can't think of any major female actors that were in The Post, so it had to be. Was Tom Hanks in that? Have Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep ever been in a movie together? What's Tom Hanks' Streep number? Am I going to be distracted by that throughout the rest of the quiz? No, I'll be fine.
A character named for this thing is served by a French gorilla named Mala and fights the Doom Patrol. A villain who is partly named for this thing shrank the Kryptonian city of Kandor. For 10 points, what organ partly names a green-skinned android?
I think the brain? Yeah. They're talking about Brainiac at some point. It must have been the one that shrank stuff. All right, 290. Most of the way through that, or halfway through. That gets us a little lower than 600, a little lower than we wanted. Hopefully they'll give me that Hindi question at the front. That'll change things. That'll just give me an extra 10, so I'd be at 300 even right now, on pace for 600. Lower than I want, but probably the best I could do with these questions. The correct answer is a title that contains more than 3 words. Shortened versions and abbreviations will not be accepted. Is this It's Always Sunny? It's Always Sunny.
On an episode of this show, an irritating mynah bird is shot by the composer Ludwig van Beethoven. This show opened with a haggard man gasping the word, "It's..." The Ministry of Silly Walks was a sketch.
No. That has more than 3 words. Just barely more than 3 words, but more than 3 words. Yeah, I mean, my Monty Python has obviously been through the movies. I don't think I've ever watched like an actual episode of Flying Circus. I mean, you watch the skits. I mean, like the parrot skit comes through. Ministry of Silly Walks comes through. But yeah.
This fast food chain's original store in Columbus, Ohio, closed in 2007. In the 2000s, Zach Braff voiced this chain's "That's Right" ad campaign, and it introduced the Baconator. Where's the Beef was a...
Okay. They said, "Where's the beef?" It's Wendy's. The old lady in Wendy's. She was not Wendy.
This actor played Billy, the boyfriend of the bully Chris, in the original version of Carrie.
Yeah. That's some John Travolta knowledge for that ass right there. He was in Carrie. He was like the bad guy in Carrie. Although, fun weird thing about Carrie, you know, like she kills almost every single person in the gym with her, but the main people that were antagonizing her weren't in there because they got kicked out of prom for being a dick to her. So they orchestrated their friends to do this prank. They weren't even there. Although I think she does blow up their car, so I do think they get some comeuppance. But it's not explicit that they died in it. Or was John... No. Nah, yeah, John Travolta wasn't the cool guy. He was the asshole. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not the good guy who gets killed by the pig blood bucket after they dump it out. Anyway, that one felt pretty good. That should at least be in the running for best buzz. I bet somebody went in before they even said Carrie.
This TV show was the first to feature Matt Davis as the teacher Alaric Saltzman, who appears as headmaster of a Mystic Falls boarding school in the originals and Legacies. Elena loved both of the Salvatore brothers on, for 10 points, what CW series named after Chronicles of Undead Beings?
I solved the puzzle. I solved your puzzle, Buzzword. Undead Beings and Chronicles. Yeah, I have no knowledge. Basically no knowledge of any CW show.
This musician inspired the stage name of Kate Micucci in a duo she forms with Ricky Lynn.
Yeah. Kate Micucci and Erica Lindholm are Garfunkel and Oates. The lesser halves of Simon and Garfunkel and Hall and Oates. I had to do the quick math on there about which one she was. Say we weren't going to ask an Art Garfunkel. I guess maybe I was actually like 50-50 on that. But they said later half, right? They said later half, so it had to be Oates. Look at me, probably maybe getting a best buzz on a popular music question.
In 1917, Salvation Army lassies began serving these food items to U.S. troops. A
Lassies.
filled variety of this food item is called a Berliner.
There's that whole thing. It's probably apocryphal, but like JFK saying "Ich bin ein Berliner" was actually "I am a donut." I had an inkling. I had an inkling after the Lassie thing, and then they said "filled." Probably could have went in there. So were the Lassies like women or like a dog? That's some deep donut history.
On this TV show, the businessman Formica Mike tried to acquire a furniture store called Ottoman Empire. The 2021 death of George Siegel ended his stint on this show as the grandfather of Erica, Barry, and Adam. Jeff Garlin stars on, for 10 points,
Jeff
what
Garlin.
ABC sitcom named for a 1980s family?
It is the Goldbergs. I forgot. I realized George Siegel was on there. The late George Siegel. Yeah. In modern TV, I don't know much about either. I had a suspicion.
These people are a dime a dozen, according to a Sky Ferreira song that repeats, "You put my faith back in these people." These people are down at Dino's Bar and Grill.
So I think this is gonna go up. This will probably be going. Or I'll make sure this doesn't go up. There's actually a fair amount of overlap. So there's a reason why I had that Travolta stuff at the forefront of my brain, and also the boys down at Dino's Bar and Grill. Haven't changed. Don't have much to say. And if the boys you want to fight, you better let them. Oh, it's such a good song.
In this film, a green sequined dress is worn by the vamp played by Sid Charisse. In this film,
That's in Singing in the Rain? Yeah. Oh, Sid Charisse and those legs. There's a whole. Is she actually like a. I think it's a whole dream sequence. Or it's a movie? That whole sequence? Singing in the Rain's kind of a weird movie. Because it's like straight up a musical, but like half the songs are actually movies within the musical. Or within like the existence. So they're not performing. But then there's like Make 'em Laugh and Singing in the Rain. Make 'em Laugh from Singing in the Rain, right? Yeah, the dude's doing the whole thing. He's doing like backflips and stuff.
this company produces a line of products named for the defunct cigarette maker Allen and Ginter. Rob Goff paid $5.2 million for an item this one-time gum manufacturer made in 1952 that depicts Mickey Mantle.
Ah. All right. Yep. I took the wrong swing at a collector's item. Not too far because Pez was supposed to be like gum so you'd stop smoking. I think that was an okay swing. They were saying Mickey. Then I buzzed. They were saying Mickey. I thought they were going to say Mouse, and then they said Mantle. I probably should have switched gears there, but I don't think I was going to switch over to Tops.
A song written by this man describes happiness staggering on down the street after all the jacks are in their boxes. A line
This is The Wind Cries Mary, which was written by Dylan? No. Hendrix wrote it. Yeah. Woo! Saved myself there. Yeah, it's from The Wind Cries Mary. I was conflating that with All Along the Watchtower, which was written by Dylan. All the jacks are in their boxes, all the queens have gone to bed. You can hear happiness rolling on down the street. Yeah. Yeah. Feed me lyrics. Feed me lyrics. When Cries Mary was one of the uh, my last theater production before leaving my hometown for college was a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that was placed in like the early 60s, so it had like a little bit of a hippie vibe, like all of the fairies were hippies. And I was doing sound for it, so I got to write the pre-show music. And I put in The Wind Cries Mary as one of them. I thought that was pretty good. Also, going back to the Beatles, I put in I've Just Seen a Face I Can't Forget, which is perfect for A Midsummer Night's Dream, if I do say so myself.
In a film, this performer's character goes to Puerto Rico to ask Victoria to retract her accusation of fawning. This director depicted a meeting of Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, and others in One Night in Miami.
Yeah, this is
For 10
just
points, name this black actress who won an Oscar for If Beale Street Could Talk.
I don't think this is right. Regina King, yeah. Yeah.
Daryl Winfield starred in ads for this brand that used the Magnificent Seven theme song. This brand was named for a London street by parent company Philip Morris. Several models got lung cancer after promoting.
Marlboro? All right, yeah. Talking about. Yeah, the first clue was just naming. Like the first Marlboro man? Must have been. I was too young to know what the Marlboro theme song to the Magnificent Seven is. But it's like sort of cowboy themed, I guess. I guess that checks out.
After this starring actor departed a sitcom, his character went to Greenland along with Ralph Mouth. In the 1960s, he played a young resident of Mayberry. Richie on Happy Days and Opie on The Andy Griffith Show were played by...
Is this Ron Howard? Okay. Wait, did Clint play his brother on the show too? I was too late on that. I was spending most of it like trying to access Ron Howard. I mean, they said Opie. They said Opie.
A console made by this company was known globally as the Mark III, but in the US was called the Master System.
I get it on second clue there, but they said it's a Sega Master System. It's before the Genesis. Is that the one I think that's the one you could put the Sega CD on. No, so that would have been... No, Sega CD you would put on... It was after the Genesis. So when was the Master System before the Genesis? I don't even remember. I was a Nintendo person.
This song's second verse notes, "Don't need no usher to remind me you got it bad." The line, "sidestep, right, left to my beat," is repeated in this song, its band's second English-language single after Dynamite. For 10 points, in what song does BTS claim to be smooth like the title Foodstuff?
It's just a guess. Just a guess. Hey. They said smooth like, which I guess this is just going to be butter.
In a 1976 film, this actress played a girl who returns to the Steensma family in Pittsburgh after Sport's death. In that role, she played Iris, a child prostitute who meets Travis Bickle.
Oh, it's Jodie Foster. So that was all Taxi Driver clues? Yeah, it must have been. Been a long time since I've seen Taxi Driver. But this is Travis Bickle.
On this TV show, the psychiatrist Sidney Friedman evaluated a man who was attempting to obtain a Section 8 discharge by wearing a dress.
There's MASH. They're just talking about MASH. That's just MASH. That was his whole character trait. He said he wanted to get out of the war and he was going to do it by wearing a dress.
A novel by this author includes a hyper-intelligent parrot named Gerard and a chimp with human genes named Dave. This author of the novel Next wrote a novel.
Is that how you spell Michael Crichton? Crichton? Yeah. I read Next. It's all about, like, who owns genes, like, the sequence of genes. So you can read that, or you could just read, like, the actual, like, a story about it happening in real life, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. But yeah. I had an inkling. You talk about, like, talking monkeys. It's probably some genetically modified stuff. And that's probably going to be Crichton.
In this country, a man is banished after breaking 3 arrows over his knee in a film whose title means unrest. This country contains the Spider's Web Castle in...
Is this Japan? Yeah, I forget. I think they were all talking about Kurosawa movies. Is that what Ron means? Ron just means unrest. But yeah, the Spider's Web. I don't know which one exactly it's from, but the Spider's Web Castle was definitely. I bet they were talking all about Kurosawa.
This band had a hit with the Neil Diamond song A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You. A song by this group says, "My shaven razor's cold and it stings," and repeats the phrase, "Cheer up, Sleepy Jean." For 10 points, what band created for a 19...
It's the Monkees. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer? All right, we got an outside chance at 600 here. Still not where I want my score to be. This is not where I wanted to start out this summer competition, but a specific game, so we can do a little work here.
Side quests in this game included solving puzzles after eating fly agaric mushrooms and flighting contests. In this game...
No, they said flighting, so I gotta say, like... Yeah. So flighting is like Viking rap battles. Which was a weird thing to put in that game, but boy did they just put everything in that game.
The protagonist of this musical learns a dance called the Madison from Seaweed J. Stubbs that she then uses to impress Corny Collins. A male actor in drag traditionally plays Edna.
Okay. I was kind of on the SpongeBob musical for a while there, including when they said drag. That's why I was a little hesitant to go in on the drag part, but that is like Edna Turnblad, throughout history has been played by men in drag, including John Travolta, I believe. In the movie, the movie musical, it was played by John Travolta. Chris Walken was the dad. Kind of Travolta heavy.
In a monologue at the end of this film, the protagonist declares, "I will live and love." Its protagonist is the son of Clifford, who led the Lima Project to Neptune to find alien life. Brad Pitt played an astronaut in...
It's Ad Astra. Which is not... Interstellar. It came out a couple years after Interstellar, but it still has that whole like Armageddon, Deep Impact, Olympus Has Fallen, White House Down vibe. Volcano, Dante's Peak. They weren't even in the same year, but I still can't separate Ad Astra and Interstellar in my head.
This comedian remarked Conan hasn't been here yet at the start of a 2021 TV episode depicting a trip to Rwanda. The longest-serving regular correspondent on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart was this Canadian-born woman.
Okay. All right, that was, I'm gonna say, a little disappointing. I had some good buzzes in there, but it started out a little bit on the wrong foot. Didn't recovered a little bit, but I don't think this score is going to rank me pretty high today, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is not one that gets used in my top five. But anyway, that's week one. I'm gonna do all 8 weeks and record them, put them together, see what comes out, and I hope for everybody's sake that I do a little better in the next one. All right, thank you guys.